And we are back. Black and a Half, episode number 102. That's right. Triple digits from here on out until we get to 1,000. My name is Silas and Samantha. I'm your host for today. And with me again, co-hosting Samantha Rund. It's on her rotation. Her rotation is here. It's a you.
It's a me, it's Samantha.
And the returning guest for here he was on, I don't know, like a year and a half ago or something. Jim Kellner. Jim Kellner. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, they can't see you wave, but that's fine. It's
yeah.
I wave too.
World renowned hypnotist, so he says on Facebook. He's here. He does. That's not a joke. He
says it all the time.
He says it all the time. So make it come true, right? Vision board.
I know, but when you say somebody says right afterwards, even if it's true, it sounds like Barack Obama, last president. So he says.
That's awesome. I'm going to do that all the time.
Right.
Next comedy show coming up to the stage. Very funny comedian. So she says. Samantha Run.
Yes, I finally have an intro I can tell people.
That'll be awesome. This was a fun episode. Silas had notes this time, so we actually didn't meander as much. Though they gave me real estate advice. They gave me we talked about how hypnotism can help you with anxiety during COVID. We skipped that topic. Talked about the Hollywood and how they're dealing with COVID and my worries about that. And this was a good self-help one for me. Jim helped me deal with a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna take all that advice.
I helped him not at all.
That's right. She didn't. She just mocked me the whole time. But did she? Who knows? You'll have to listen and find out. And thank you to you fans for listening and being here. And a couple things to ask real quick. If you could, please go to iTunes and subscribe, rate, comment, do that. We'd much appreciate that. If you want to support the program, share it with people you love. Tell them to listen to this program. That helps us. And if you really want to help, you can go to become a Patreon of the program, a patron, by going to patreon.com/black&a-half. And for a low price, you can just pick your amount and support the program. And that would be wonderful. Or not. Just listen to it for free forever. Because I don't have bills to pay. That's fine. We don't need that. No, we love you and thank you for your support and thank you for making it possible to get to number 102. All right. Any shows you want to plug, Jim? No?
You know what? Actually, yeah, my when's this coming out?
Tomorrow.
Oh, great. So yeah, well, sign up for my anxiety workshop, guys. It's jimkellner.info/stop-worry.
Stop worry?
Stop worry. jimkellner.info/stop-worry.
Ooh, .info. You got the high brand one, huh?
Oh yeah.
Did somebody own your .com?
Oh, I have them all. I have jimkellner.com, jimkellnerhypnotist.com, damnI'mPretty.com. Yeah, I'm loaded.
But you like to publicize the .info one?
The reason I use that one is because it's set up as a URL shortener.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's specifically for that.
Okay.
That's why.
That's cool. So yeah, jimkellner.info. Don't go to the .com one.
Don't go. Yeah, don't go.
I'm sure they're all bookmarked. All the fans listening here have all your sites bookmarked already.
Of course. Surely they do.
They just need to know which one to go to. So yeah, check out that anxiety. Check it out, I guess.
Yeah, check it out.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say now. Go see his show from your house. Go to his workshop. Yeah, I know. Let's go to his workshop. by not leaving your house again.
Yeah, don't leave your house.
A big change of routine for you. But yeah, a lot of you have anxiety out there. I know we talk about that on the show, but we know you're living with it, and anything you can do to help. Jim does a wonderful job with his hypnotism. So check it out if you're having there. It's worth it. But yeah, and Samantha, any shows coming up? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, if you're looking for something enjoyable to watch, I recommend rewatching The Office, just like I started doing for the 7th, 10th. I don't know how many times. Yeah. But I have it on in the background while I crochet my blanket because it's okay if I don't see everything.
Well, in the fetal position, rocking yourself, like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, Jim.
No,
it's going to be okay,
not very,
Jim.
Well, I don't pretend to be Dwight. But yeah, it's not ergonomic for crocheting to be in the fetal position.
That's important. Yeah. It's important to keep your ergonomics.
It's very important. Yeah. I have a sit-stand desk just for that purpose at home. I do not. I wish I had one at home. That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be. Okay, so here we are, episode number 102, The Return of Jim Kellner.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stand by to receive our transmission. Stand by to receive our transmission. Stand by, stand by, stand by, stand by.
Join us in Cressy. Join us in Cressy. Join us in Cressy.
Live long, and prosper, and prosper, and prosper, and prosper.
So I have this little dilemma that I'm hoping you guys will help me with a little bit. Like, it's a little business related, but I just want to know, like, I'm trying not to be like, I don't want to be a creepy real estate agent, like, I just like to be a creepy comedian. Like, that's the when I'm creepy, it's just in the one facet. So my neighbor has like dementia or one of those, and somebody has a dog. Okay. She has, so they just took her away. Like the
white coats, the ambulance.
They almost sent those, but they brought the relatives came and got her. And I've been wondering what was going on. And I guess like one of the granddaughters was over today.
Here's my card.
Oh, so you want to know if you can sell her house? Is that why?
Well, okay, let me get to it. So I asked how it was because, she's been over at our house before. She was here like an hour and a half because she couldn't remember. She locked herself out of the house and didn't know anybody's phone number or who to call. And she was with Gretchen like an hour and a half until finally she remembered her dentist's name. And so she called. Gretchen called and got the emergency contact, and then it was whatever. So, and then things lately, there was a lot of talking with nobody around recently and stuff. So we knew there was bad stuff until the police showed up, and then then she left. And so I'm working in the yard today, and the granddaughter comes over, I guess, and I was like, "Hey, so is she okay?" Because I was a little afraid. I've seen them moving stuff out. So I was like, oh, did she die? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, yesterday they came by and I was afraid to ask. So this time I was like, oh, I just want to know. And so I asked, and like, is she okay? And they're like, oh yeah, well, they moved to an adult home. And I said, oh, okay, good. And she was like, I'm sorry for everything she's done. I'm like, no worries. My wife's grandfather died recently and he had dementia, and we get it. And she's like, yeah, well, we got to put her we're coming in here trying to clean up the place because the care center they have her in is going to cost like $8,000 a month. Whoa. which is it's typical for memory care facilities.
Get the nice place.
And yeah, so she's like, yeah, so we're gonna get this, have to get this for sale. And so I say like, okay, well, if there's anything I can help you with, that is my business. And she's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm an agent, but like anything you need, let me know. It's like, okay. Yeah. And then we just kind of went on, talked a little bit. Though I always feel like the second I mention I'm an agent, like the people like, okay, I gotta go now. Like they always say, like, they're like, I don't. Yeah. And so now I'm like, so do I? Like, I'm the neighbor, like, right? I'm the neighbor. Yeah. Like, it actually is really convenient for me to sell it for one.
Right.
But, I mean, in my mind.
You can show it anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I, like, go drop a note over there. Like, because she didn't have my contact info or anything because, you know, you don't do that now because COVID, right? So I don't just hand people a car. Do you think I should, like, leave a note saying, like, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, sorry about everything. By the way, I talked to the granddaughter and, I'm right over here. If you need anything, I'm an agent, or if I should just leave it at that. I'm like, the house is going to sell. And I was like, well, I don't want to offend them. Like by sending them a note and mentioning I'm an agent. But I was like, well, if I do offend them, it's not like I'm going to see them ever again anyway. Right. Yeah. Like one of them lives in Stanwood. Like, I mean, I just got to put this out there. Like,
how old was the granddaughter? Do you think?
Like 30s, maybe.
Okay. Because I don't know. Because it kind of seems like I was trying to figure out how old she was, because if you're a certain age, you're going to know to bring up, oh, well, her neighbor is a real estate agent. Do you know what I mean? Like if she's 12 or something, she's probably not going to think about that.
Right.
But
it was like an older. Because the woman's like
probably
was 95, I think. So her grandchildren are old. Like, so I just don't know. Well, but there's a bunch of people that are coming over, and I'm like, well, I'm right here. But I've always hated this is the aspect I don't like people getting divorced, that kind of stuff. I don't want to feel like the vulture, like going at it. Like, how do you think, like, if that was happening to you, that you had to take care of somebody, how would you want to be approached about it?
Well, I'll tell you from my point of view. I'll tell you what I try to do in my business. Come from a place of service.
Yeah,
and I think if you come from a place of service, then you're doing them a favor. You're helping them. Look at it from the other side and go, and they're going, oh my God, now we've got to call a real estate agent. We got to call, and then all of a sudden you show up like a hero, and they're like, oh my God, this guy just saved us all this time. But what I would probably do is, if you're still doing your newsletter, your written one, I might just take one over, write a note too, and say, hey, look, I don't know if you know this, but I actually do real estate, and I understand that could seem a little weird. And so if it's weird for you, then what I would be happy to recommend a couple of other agents you might want to talk to if it's weird for you, because I live right next door or something.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, and I could do that. And then I still get the money.
Yeah, I mean, you at least, even if, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, "Oh no, But if you give them that option, and if they do, then you do a referral fee with your friend or whatever.
Oh yeah, so, for 95%. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's a good idea. I wouldn't go up to the door anyway because of the COVID.
Yeah,
COVID.
The COVID. Yeah.
Do we not say that for anything else, do we? Like
the Facebook.
I mean,
the Facebook, yeah.
Like, I don't want to catch the herpes. I don't want the herpes.
Right. Oh, the herpes. You don't want the herpes, no.
It's so I don't want to catch that. That's a good idea. And it is like, I did think selfishly, I want money and everything, right? But
of course,
I did say she's like, we need to sell the house, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I do. It's almost like if she had said, oh, and now we need to find a comedian for the the entertainment night.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I'm a comedian, but I don't feel like a sleazeball when I say I'm a comedian, and it's probably because of how much I get paid. Versus
exactly.
Well, I feel like too, it was a tricky situation, because the reason why she's moving out is not a happy reason. Yeah. So you don't want to feel like you're being a vulture and capitalizing on that.
Yeah. I was actually like, oh, I'm glad she didn't die because I wouldn't even have said anything. I'd have been like, awkward. I don't want to. Okay, well, that's good advice. Are you safe still? Are you both safe?
I sure hope so.
In the COVID?
Hope so, yeah.
Right?
I've been out gallivanting, so I don't know.
Are you?
You have? You said you have?
I've been gallivanting. Yes.
Oh, what kind of gallivanting have you been doing?
Oh, I mean, I'm just out in the world, and sometimes I don't even wear a mask, guys.
Oh boy!
Do you stay 6 feet away from people? Do you stay 6 feet?
Sometimes.
Sometimes not. I mean, you're kind of old. Like, are you worried?
Oh, ouch. Ooh, ouch.
You've got to have one or two underlying conditions, right? Like,
the first underlying condition is being alive. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And being old, as Silas said. Yeah, I'm not worried about it at all. I never get sick, so I'm not worried about it. And I'm not worried about dying. So either way, I'm fine.
Wait, so do you not do any precautions?
I'll wear a mask if I go to the grocery store.
Okay.
Oh, wait, now I can't tell. Were you actually gallivanting or not gallivanting?
Oh, yeah, I was gallivanting. I've been out to stores and parks and all kinds of places.
Well, it's not much open, right? So.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess everybody, there's
pretty limited gallivanting.
So many different types of gallivanting and ways people are thinking about this. Because you have your gallivanting, then you have me, who it's like,
she's become she's like
such a shut-in now. We went for our big adventure to go grocery shopping again, but I have not left. Have I gone anywhere in 3 weeks? I don't think I went anywhere in 3 weeks. Except for I think I went for a drive. We went for a drive like twice just because it was getting to be cabin fever. I missed my doctor's
Schmeagol. You're going to be Gollum soon.
Gonna be.
Yeah.
My boyfriend recently told me that I cannot out-weird him, which, well, you don't know him, but I would just say I feel like challenge accepted. And things might start to get a lot more interesting around the house now.
Yeah. Get video.
Right? Oh, man. I don't know, though, because I feel that if I really take it there, yes, we're both fairly competitive with when playing games, like Clue or Yahtzee or whatever. But I feel like this could get pretty competitive. So it might get to a point where one of us actually scares the other person.
That's a YouTube show, right? Like Prank Wars, but it's like Weird Wars or something. You just got to videotape it all. See what you do.
Man.
Jim, what do you mean you never get sick?
I just never get sick.
How is that possible?
I mean, every once in a while I get a little bit. I get a little bit. Maybe I like a little while, like back in January, February, I had like a sore throat a little bit and stuff like that. But I don't allow it to affect me because here's the thing. This is what happened. This is why. I'll tell you why. Because when I was about 16, 17, every time people around me started getting sick, I started taking vitamin C. Then a couple years later, I was like, I wonder if I even need the vitamin C. And I just started telling myself, I never get sick. I never get sick. Next thing you know, I just never get sick.
So you don't recall being sick, really?
There was one time, hold on, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I had the man flu. That was pretty tragic for about a week. That was bad. It was. And then maybe two or 3 years before that, I had it again. So
you don't credit it to anything. You're not like, oh, it's because of my diet, or
no, it really is. I think here's the thing, and I think I maybe have a decent immune system, but I'll tell you that here's the thing. Like I had a friend that I went to high school with and stuff, and we would talk. I hardly ever talk to him anymore because he's just too down. But like he would say, people around me get sick, and he'd go, well, people. People are sick or people at work are getting sick, so I'll be sick. And I'm like, dude, don't say that. That's
with that attitude. Yeah,
exactly. Sure. And so many, but here's the thing. So many people are doing that. They go, oh, this person's sick, it's flu, whatever. Next thing you know, they're sick too. I don't do that crap. I'm constantly telling myself I never get sick. I never get sick. Now, do I get sick? Sure. I mean, it happens sometimes, but is not like it would be if, like, my friend that gets sick, I mean, all the freaking time, all the time.
So you think he manifests it by like the secret?
I do. Exactly. I really do. I think that we kind of, that we're giving ourselves messages all the time. We're hypnotizing ourselves all the time, and your body kind of responds.
Is that hypnotism?
Absolutely. That kind of repetitive thing like that. Absolutely. It's, there's all kinds of different kinds of hypnosis. And I really just think that's a way of, he's hypnotizing himself into believing it's true. And here's the thing too. What if you had allergies and you're not really sick, but you get that allergy, you start getting a little tickle or something, you go, oh, I must be sick. Next thing you know, you're laying on the couch like you're sick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't tell the difference sometimes. That is the truth. That is a thing.
So.
Yeah, like, I mean, when this whole thing started, I was like, the allergy season I was so self-conscious going to the grocery store because I was like, I was taking cough drops even though I didn't need them because I was like, oh, I have nasal stuff in the back. I'm going to cough and people are going to freak out. So I better shove all these holes in my mouth just to like hold it back just in case. That's crazy. I was wondering you're a world-renowned hypnotist, right?
Indeed. Yes. Keep saying it. Right
now, the world has this low level of anxiety. Most of us, those of us who get sick,
low level.
Right? At least I feel like it's just got to be there somewhere, even if it's not high. Not everyone. People like him aren't worried, right? So I guess it's not everybody.
I know. I'm just teasing you because I feel like,
or the people that went to Olympia. Yeah. You weren't in Olympia protesting, were you? You weren't with them.
I was too lazy for that. But,
okay. Like, how can hypnotism help? Like that anxiety that people feel, like even if it's not like, I feel like sometimes it's not conscious until the end of the day or something, till I've relaxed on something. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I've been tense all day.
Yeah. Silas, it drives me nuts. I'll be honest with you. It drives me nuts because I have people on my timeline talking about how stressed out they are, how anxious they are. And this isn't even just now during this thing. I mean, people have anxiety all the time. And it drives me nuts because hypnosis and even not hypnosis, but there are so many things that people can do for themselves that can help it. But here's the thing. I was just talking with a colleague about this. There's a lot of people, and I'm sorry if you guys are in this category, but there's a lot of people that actually identify as someone with anxiety, and they also get secondary gains. We call it secondary gains. So
is that weight? Because I got that secondary gain.
It could be. But when you get if a kid, they feel anxious about going to the dentist or something, and you give them a piece of candy, their secondary gain now is that they got a piece of candy. So that reinforces this, and so they got a reward for it. And even things like we don't have to push ourselves to do things that make us uncomfortable because we go, oh, I've got anxiety. So somebody else has to do it for me, those kind of things. And I'm not judging people for it, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of reasons people are invested in their anxiety, and then maybe they take medications and stuff, and that's just a Band-Aid because you quit taking the medication and you got the anxiety again. So for me, it's just frustrating as hell because there's so many treatments for it that work so well.
So do you ever, I haven't seen you post, maybe you have, but to say, hey, are you experiencing anxiety? Hypnosis can help you. And here I am.
Oh, I do.
Do you?
I do, but I don't. The thing is, I'm doing a workshop like next Thursday with another hypnotist, doing like a 2-hour workshop. But I treat people all the time for anxiety. But I can't. It's not like Facebook. You can't be posting all the time. Hey, look, come work with me. Come work with me. Come work with me. But I do try to. And as I think about this, people are probably missing it, and I do need to come from a place of service and say, look, people, I can help you. For God's sakes, I can help you. Because it makes me sad. So many people are suffering so much, and they don't have to. Because here's the situation. We think that this COVID thing is making us all stressed out, but it doesn't have the same effect on everyone. So we know that it's on some level, you do have a choice in the matter. And certain people, you're choosing, and I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm not victim blaming, but I'm saying you're making choices that are going to keep you going down that road. You could be making choices that might help. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have thought about the whole idea that stress lowers your immune system.
Absolutely.
So how do I not get stressed while still taking it seriously? Like, I was thinking that's some of the I was like, oh, that's what stinks about the protesters. They're not taking it seriously. So they're not stressed in that way. Maybe they're stressed about, like, because they can't work at the Piggly Wiggly or whatever.
I would think that they're stressed for sure if they're willing to go to a protest.
Yeah.
I'm personally not agreeing with the protesting, but I feel like everybody has their reasons for doing what they do. So if it's reached that point,
so if they're stressed,
it's got to be something
stressed, and then they're going into that environment too, where they're going to be more susceptible, unless they wish it away. I don't know. Then it's, like I think about that and I'm trying to I don't want to be stressed about it because that's not going to help, but I can't help it because I'm like, I've never been in this situation before. I mean, nobody has, right?
Wait, I was going to say you haven't, because this has happened to all us like about 20 times.
Exactly.
18. No, just kidding.
I've prided myself in that, I figure out how to make money one way or the other. Yeah. Like, I'm going to I got these backups. If I'm not selling enough homes, I'll hop in a Lyft. I can do that. Oh, I can do some soccer games on the weekend and I'll get some cash in that way. I've got all these little side hustles that I can do. All of them are gone. Everything I do is gone.
I know the feeling. Because I thought I was covered too. I was like, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got that. Oh, crap, I've got one thing left, online hypnotherapy.
And so I was just like, what? And so I just, sitting here just like, I don't even know what to do. I'm okay. I'll wait for the money, I guess, that they're going to send. I don't know. I can apply for unemployment in 2 weeks, they say. Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. And that had a level of anxiety I hadn't felt in a while, because I'm like, I can't control anything about this. The only things I could do, I risk bringing home the virus, and my wife has a low immune system. So I'm like, I can't risk it for her. She has a stressful job and she has a low compromised immune system. So I'm just, that's weird. I have no control, and I'm used to having somewhat of control, I guess I could do an online comedy show and make $12 or something. Maybe
you'd make $12.
Maybe. If it was like a 4-hour show, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. And this is the one thing that I would just tell you is that you're kind of disempowering yourself because you're saying you have no control. Let me just give you an example. My friend Marianne and I, if we're driving in traffic, so especially used to 10 years ago, I was a maniac, man. I would go crazy in traffic. Oh my God, I hate these people. I want to kill them all. Same exact traffic situation, because we're in Seattle. We know this is like the worst traffic. And she would just be sitting there smiling. In fact, she's so relaxed, it's stressing me out how relaxed she is in traffic. Really.
Yeah.
And this is when it occurred to me. I was like, oh my God, we're in the same situation. If I were driving, she were driving. So I get to choose, right? We don't have to choose to be stressed. And that's really what it comes down to. Now there are all other kinds of things that come into it, and, physiological issues, our past, and all these kind of things. But a lot of this is the choice that we're making. And what I love to see is I love that you've been out doing gardening and stuff. That looks amazing. You're being very productive. I love it.
Oh yeah. It's the thing that can get my mind off of it and not stare at numbers accelerating all day of like, oh, how many people are dead in Louisiana right now? Like, okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Stop reading the news, people.
Stop. Don't know what's going on. Put your head in the sand. Come on.
Right. What good does it do you to know how many people died when really about 6 billion people lived? Over 6 billion.
I think it's useful for, we might have talked about this the last podcast I was on with you, Silas, but I think it's limiting consumption or knowing what amount is useful to you and when it becomes detrimental.
Yeah.
Because I found in the beginning, I was watching the news a lot just because I needed to know what was going on. I needed to know how to best protect myself and my family and just make informed decisions. But when it started to be where I'd wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I was having a panic attack because the news was playing in my mind, I'm like, I've watched it too much. I'm not changing anything I'm doing. I'm just getting more stressed.
Yeah.
So now I kind of watch every other day. But of course, if I go on Facebook, then I get more information. I still get my information daily, one way or another, just limiting it.
There's a factor for me of feeling not control, but like me knowing what's going on. It's actually soothing to a degree. I have started stepping away more because other people are driving me crazy. In that I'm watching I have the same info. Well, for a while, because I knew it was coming and all the people denying that it was going to happen. I was like, oh, I'm stressed waiting for it to happen. Once it actually happened, I was like, okay, it happened. I was right. I didn't want to be right, but I was. Night night. The kids came in just now to say night night.
Hey kids.
Bye bye. So it was stressful. Well, it was less stressful once it would happen. I was like, okay, it is happening. It was like that anxiety of waiting for the shoe to drop or whatever. And it was like, okay, the shoe dropped. Here we are. So how long is it going to be now? And now like, I was actually really relaxed until all these people were like, let's end this now. And I'm like, no, just wait. Just everyone calm down. We're all going to get money next week. Just relax. Hang out, do what they said, get a bidet, like just relax. And now I'm stressed out I'm actually kind of stressed that so many places are reopening. Cause now I'm like, well, now it's just going to come back again. Dang it. I was like all ready for it to be done like in July, August, and then come back again in November. This is what I expected. And now I'm like, well, now I don't even know if it'll go away. Because everyone just won't just sit down and garden. Just garden.
Well, not everybody has a garden.
Well,
okay.
Imaginary. You can get online and do a fake garden,
That's true.
Something. Mm-hmm. And so now
I know.
I've had to step away from that. And today I was leveling my lawn. Today I bought a bunch of soil to fill in the holes. So, which I'm sure is a metaphor for something. I don't know. Or something.
I don't know. Maybe an award-winning film director could help you out with that.
Maybe. Yeah.
After some good hypnosis. World-class hypnosis.
I can world-renowned hypnosis too. Yeah.
I need to figure out the movie I can shoot with only me in it, and me as the cameraman, and me as the. Okay. Actually, speaking of films and stuff. Okay, I'm guessing. I feel like nobody I know watches The Walking Dead anymore, right? So.
Oh my goodness! I have to start it. I haven't watched it, and I'm almost done. No, I haven't.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
And I know. So if you're gonna have a spoiler, I'll just take the headphones off.
No, it's not a spoiler about it. Plus, we're on season 10. I don't think you'd remember what I said.
Oh, I would.
By the time. Okay. No. Oh, yeah. So last week I was waiting. I was like excited because the finale was coming on of the season, and then it didn't air, and I was like, what? And I checked, and it was like, and then it said, no, next week it was. I was like, that's weird. They're taking a week off, and then they're gonna have it. And then last night that didn't come on again, or Sunday night it didn't come on again. I'm like, what the hell? And so I Googled it because I try not to Google anything about the series until I'm caught up.
Yeah.
So apparently for the final episode, they hadn't finished post-production before the shutdown happened in LA. And so they're stalled on it. Apparently the work they have to do can't be done just at home remotely. Like they have to be in the studio. So just the one episode, the finale, is delayed indefinitely until it's called off so they can go to work and do the special effects on it or whatever. And like, it's apparently like they only have like a few hours worth of work left, but they can't do it yet. And I'm like, because it's also supposed to lead in, I guess, to the another series too. So they're like, well, and now that other series is delayed, and this is my super selfish panic about everything is that all these television shows are going to be delayed next year. Like, and since I have kids, I'm very behind on a lot of TV shows, so I don't think I'll run out. But do you worry that have you guys run out of shows to watch, or like, do you think, no?
Well, the thing I have started rewatching some shows because they're, it's like comforting to rewatch.
Yes.
So I have been doing some of that. But yeah, I need to start watching more.
Is there anything
television
that you're afraid is going to get delayed that you were really looking forward to, like movies or TV or anything?
No, just like life stuff, like life delays. Not like
that's
television.
Television life delay. Like
it's
my life.
No, none of that. I'm not.
What?
No.
Well, Jim, I feel like you don't watch TV or something.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people I used to hate. Really, I hate to hear them. I don't watch TV. I very rarely. So I'm sorry, guys. Don't hate me, but no, I have other stuff to do. I don't know how everybody has so much time to watch TV. I've been watching Freud, and that was interesting. But
what is that?
It's Freud. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
it's a really good show. It's got hypnosis in it, but just like every other show with hypnosis, it's completely inaccurate and misleading and full of crap. But it's an interesting story.
It's not a documentary or anything.
No. It's a TV show. It's very dramatized. Yeah, very dramatized. So that's the only thing I've watched recently. I used to watch Walking Dead, but haven't watched it in years.
Do you read a lot of books?
I do read some books. Yeah.
I don't understand what you do.
Non-television time.
What do you do?
I'm always
making memes.
I make memes. That's what I do. That's my job. Yeah, I'm the meme master general, yo. I do spend too much time on Facebook. I'll say that, but I end up reading a lot. I read a lot. I work on my. There's always stuff to like right now. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out why Gmail is not working with my mail server for my website anymore. Just stopped working, and it's driving me freaking nuts. So there's shit like that, or stuff like that to do.
No, you gotta swear. Let it out.
Website stuff, newsletters. Good Lord, there's so much stuff.
I guess if you take your job seriously, I guess that's part of the. I have a lot more time.
I don't know, man. I feel like I just always have time for at least one television show. Maybe not every day, but almost every day, no matter how busy. 3 jobs, college classes, homework, extracurriculars, work study, whatever. Still, there's probably going to be a 20-minute television show in the mix.
No, I used to. Literally, 4 or 5 hours a day easily. Yeah, I did. I really did. So I get it. I get it.
Like, I do remember the pre-children. Like, I remember watching shows from 7 to 10 every night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Life was nice.
And I kind of think, ideally, when it's not quarantine life, it would be just 1 hour of television a day.
That'd be good.
Except for the occasional days where I could splurge, but just so there's enough time to do everything else.
Yeah.
I used to. I watched with my daughter these superhero shows. Like, not that I'm not saying I wouldn't watch them without her, but because I totally would watch them without her. But we save them so when she's here with me, the week she's here with me, we try to watch them. But the WB network has so many series now for superheroes, it has become stressful for me to keep up. I was like, no, not another one. No, then you need to cut out stop doing 20 episodes. I'm like, this is like a full-time job now just to stay, because they do all these crossovers. So I want to stay up on the one so I know when they cross over, I know what's going on. And I'm like, I have other shows to watch, damn it. Stop it. You're messing with me.
That should be your superhero. Your superhero character. You always know what's going on in any show at all times.
Oh, I can tell you. Do you want a spoiler? All right. I'm nuts that, movie theaters are closed is like the biggest deal to me right now.
Dude, Atlanta is opening up movie theaters again, I think.
Wow.
Did it say on Monday? I saw something like that. That really freaked me out.
They're going to open them, but the thing is no studios are going to release them.
They could play old movies. I don't know.
They could try that because theaters aren't going to move. Hollywood's not going to release something that can only play in one city.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, Atlanta's a lot of people are going to die in Atlanta.
That's just so scary.
Well, that's actually funny because the governor has said, everybody open up. But he didn't consult the mayors of the cities. He actually didn't. He didn't consult his advisors. He just said it. Wow. And they were all like, what?
Wait,
they're all like, no, we don't. Okay. And the mayors are saying, okay, because he put a law in saying, or he made it part of it is that he said municipalities can't override his decision and they must stay open. These things must be open. Oh. But, okay, so the city can't force them to be closed. But the mayor's saying, I can't tell you have to or cite you, but please stay home. Please don't. He's saying just please don't do it. And I just don't think, I think in the rural areas, I think they probably, because they don't care as much about what the scientists said, they're like, oh, good, we can go back to work. But I think the cities are going to have a hard time, filling the restaurant and stuff. I just think the cities are more likely to hear no, no, we can see the news.
I just watched John Oliver before, I don't know, an hour before our conversation, our podcast now. So I don't know if you've seen the latest episode of it. But I have to say it is quite interesting, remembering the perspective that not everybody's watching the same news. And when he was showing some of the news that's playing on other news stations that I don't watch, I was floored. And it makes it a lot more understandable why some people are doing things. I'm like, why would they do that? Yikes.
Well, even worse than that, the people that are watching the conspiracy videos on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
I
had no idea there were so many things about Bill Gates.
Oh, I know, right?
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought
he's apparently the Antichrist. I didn't even know. He seemed such a good guy.
I thought we just hated him because he was like business wise, he kind of ripped off somebody or something. I remember hearing that. But
way deeper than that.
He was doing all this, the Gates Foundation stuff was like, oh, what a great benevolent thing that he's doing around the world. And it turns out, oh no, he's turning everyone into lizards all over the, sterilizing the population around the world. Like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. If you could be a lizard for a day, any lizard, what would you be? Would you want to be a lizard for a day? If you could be a lizard for a day,
why?
And you didn't have to kill anything, and then you could just
like
and
a
you
lizard
get
person,
killed.
like a lizard.
No,
person?
like an actual lizard.
Why would I? Are there benefits of being a lizard?
Like, why is she bringing this up? I don't know. I'm just saying, if you had the option, because when you're talking about turning into a lizard, if you had the option, let's say you had one day where you could be a lizard, you would not die. You do not have to kill anybody. Just one day, you could be a lizard.
Do? Out of that, what could I do that I couldn't?
Stop gardening and go do something else? I don't know.
You say be a lion or an elephant for a day. I'd do that.
But there's all kinds of lizards. What about you?
I might just ask, is there another choice? Because
it's like the worst
if
animal.
You could make me a lizard for a day, you could do a lot of other things. And I'd much rather have X-ray vision or be able to fly or something.
Well, okay, sure. What if you could do all of those things, but you could also be a lizard?
I'll take everything else, and then I'll be the lizard last.
Look, you can fly, but you're a lizard. That's the only.
Okay, flying. Okay, all right.
I want to experience what it's like to lose my tail, right?
I want to be a Komodo dragon then.
Right?
Yeah.
See, you don't have to be a tiny lizard.
They don't get around much. They don't do much lollygagging or whatever you were doing.
No,
really.
gallivanting. No, they just walk around eating stuff.
No gallivanting.
That's kind of good, actually.
Like, Jim, do you do acting anymore besize the
I do.
mystery?
Murder mysteries.
But
I do murder mysteries. That's about it.
Any real acting?
If I got offered something, I would, but
you don't try it. You don't go after.
I'm not really auditioning for anything. I'll tell you, I had an epiphany a while back that I actually got to a point where I like to like do my own words on stage rather than somebody else's.
Oh, okay.
So you're a comedian now.
Well, he was.
I'm poet. No,
I won't say world-renowned comedian. I do a few jokes.
Jim has the distinction of being at my first ever set.
It was amazing, and I won that night. I think I was the champ that night, wasn't I? Or did Corey won?
No, you just came to watch.
I thought I won. Anyway,
no, Corey won.
No, okay, I won the week before. Then that's why I was emceeing. Okay. I can't believe Corey won. Oh God!
Yeah, I know. I always remember that when he posts his puns.
His puns, yeah.
Posts a bunch of puns, and I'm like, I lost to you. I can't even believe this. I lost.
To be fair, it was your first night, though. So
yeah. Do you? I mean, but you do the mystery things. Like, are you concerned about? Samantha and I were talking. I'm afraid it was last time or whatever about like, I don't even know how I'm going to audition for something coming up. Like, I like that's part. I mean, the selfish part of me in the whole Hollywood thing or whatever, acting in general, is I'm curious how this is all going to move forward. Like, when we'll be able to shoot.
I mean, they might be doing more video auditions.
Like, I have a friend Kevin who's coming. He lives in LA. He moved to LA last year to pursue it all. I mean, he's been acting up in Vancouver. He's Canadian, so he could. And then he's like, well, I got to be in LA. And so he moved, and he's like, he's coming back up because he's like, there's nothing to do. There's nothing. Yeah. And he said he can't foresee them opening back up without a vaccine because how do you do it? Like, unless you're going to quarantine everybody for 30 days. And
it's going to be nothing but period pieces.
Yeah.
It's going to be nothing, just really proper, all the clothes on, talking 6 feet away. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Like, I'm like, this is going to be, I can't, and that's why I'm worried about productions being put off, forever, because if we really can't, because I'm wondering like these live, have you been thinking about like, oh, how am I going to go back into this hypnosis or into the detective for the mystery? Or is that like, well, when it shows up, it shows up?
No, I mean, I'm more concerned about my hypnosis shows. That's where the money is. I mean, that's my main income. I don't do very many murder mysteries. I don't know how that's going to work. I've had some offers to do some stuff online, but I'm not convinced about the safety of it. So I don't know that I want to do that. I mean, just it would take a lot of work somebody put it a good way. Look, it takes years to build an act that you're going to do on stage.
Yeah.
And now you got to do it on Zoom. And so trying to create something, because what they wanted me to do, they wanted me to hypnotize the whole audience. But, what if the off chance, it never happens, but what if it did have somebody have some sort of a, what we call an ab reaction, and they start crying, for no apparent reason or something. And there's, weird shit can happen. Stuff can happen.
Okay.
I just don't know. I mean, I got my first post-COVID booking today. It's for February of next year. So hopefully it's done by then.
Well, that's good.
But I had all the shows for 3 months have canceled. So we'll see I was supposed to go to Amsterdam in October, and they've already canceled that. Oh.
Now, can you do your show without people up there? Can you do something with just audience?
With lizards?
Yes, with lizards. So I could do like a breakaway room in a Zoom type thing. But I mean, here's the thing.
I mean like if you had an audience, but you can't touch them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's
okay.
It's funny because I actually had a woman. She was like in her 70s, and she wanted to quit smoking, and she was telling me, she goes, well, how are you going to hypnotize me, online? And I go, just I'm just going to do it. And she's going, but I've watched all your videos. How are you going to do it? And I'm going, what do you mean? And she goes, you shake their hand and tell them to sleep. And I go, oh. I go, well, that's because I do that for dramatic effect. I mean, I don't have to hypnotize people by touching them. That's just one of the ways that we do it. And it's for a stage show. It's just for, make people go, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that next time I watch it. I'm going to go, ooh.
Oh, you go, ooh. Oh, boy, when I shake somebody's hand and when they fall on the floor, that's when you get the big ooh.
I mean, I guess it's hard. I guess, is that one of those self-induced anxiety things? If I just to think about that, because
about going ooh?
about like, oh, well, when am I going to get to perform again? Or when is that like, it's out of my control completely. So is that something, do I just don't think about it? What if I just don't think about it?
I feel like these, I think everybody has different things that make them feel better. Like what can be relaxing for you might be more stressful for me or something. And thank you. Mm-hmm. And some people need more of a plan in place, even if they're just making their own plan. It makes them feel more comfortable than just a sort of like question mark. Like, I don't know, like for me personally, I'm just trying to focus on everything will be okay, which sounds like a horrible thing to say when so many people are dying, but just I have to believe that things are going to ultimately be okay after the suffering and everything like that. And I suppose that part, if like being a spiritual person, I can kind of like rely on that a little bit more, that if I do have an adverse effect, which I hope that I don't, impact or whatever, I hope that I don't. But in the end, it will be okay. And I can't really focus too much on the details, because if it gets to the point, like you were saying, like I can't control it, then it stresses me out. Then I get anxiety. But if it's within this like certain small circle of what I can control right now, I can control the foods that I eat, and I can control the little things that I do in the house to make this as pleasant as possible under the confines that I'm in. And if I step a little bit out of that, maybe I'm okay. But if I step too far out of that, I just know it makes me too anxious. So I'm kind of like, just question mark. Not going to think too far because I have no answers. Just try to, that's what I would say. For me, it's not helpful to think about when I'm going to get to act again or perform again or go back to work again or, well, in the office or any of that. I just got to be okay with not knowing.
Like, when can I go bomb again? When can I?
You can do that immediately. Please start right now.
You could. I mean, you're bombing right now. Yeah,
that's right. Point. That's true. I can. Whenever I tell my daughter jokes, she just doesn't laugh, and I'm like, okay, good. That's what it feels like. But I mean, in front of a crowd. You said something interesting though, Silas. You said, "What am I supposed to do? Just not think about it?" And that's actually a lot of people think that's a strategy, but it doesn't work because, as you know, stopping it just doesn't. You can't just say, "I'm going to stop thinking about it." What you have to do is redirect your thoughts. You got to figure out other things to think about. It's just like any kind of a habit, thoughts, things like that. You can't. It's hard to stop a habit, but it's much easier to redirect it. Same with thoughts. Interesting.
So, like the gardening thing.
That's what I'm doing it without unconsciously. I'm just like, oh, I'm just thinking about this. What can I do there? Hey, let's. What can I do here, folks? Give me something to focus on so I don't go crazy.
Yeah, I really thought that was great. I was watching that going, oh, that's a great way to handle this situation. Wow, good for you.
I guess maybe I shouldn't name them all my COVID projects though, huh?
Right.
I was like, hey, there's my COVID rose project over here, because this wouldn't be happening.
That's why I'm crocheting a blanket right now, because when it's done, I'll be able to like hopefully one day show my grandchildren and be like, this is what your grandma did during COVID. Really? Did you go help people? I did, by staying inside and making a blanket I could show you to brag about later. Oh.
Did you volunteer?
Jeez.
I volunteered to stay home. That's what I did. Okay, one other thing I wanted to chat about a little. I don't know if you got a chance to see the UK nurses. So they did this cultural. That's not. They tried to do a thing. These UK nurses where they. What is it? It's like a Hawaiian thing, right? Isn't that the culture?
I looked it up. Actually, it's I wonder if I still have it up.
Samoan?
I think it's like New Zealand or something.
Is it a New Zealander thing? Okay, because I was thinking it was the same thing that Jason Momoa did, like where they chant, right? The Hawaiian. I thought it was a Hawaiian thing.
Is he Hawaiian?
I thought he was.
Oh. I thought he was like Dothraki or something.
Dothraki. Yeah.
Let's see. What was it called again?
It's called appropriation. That's all I wrote on it.
I mean the
cultural appropriation.
No, the dance.
Here I'm linking. I'm looking.
Because I had my window closed.
It's
here I've got it.
Haka.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's
I feel like I didn't help you at all with that rambling of.
Yeah, no, a lot of rambling here. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this, folks.
Yeah,
so
New Zealand it says.
British healthcare staff performing a haka to show their passion and drive to beat coronavirus have been slammed for cultural appropriation. The Tavistock Day Case Theatre in England posted a video of their staff performing a modified version of Kamate to their Twitter account on Saturday. Staff can be seen wearing their medical scrubs with white headbands and black face paint while attempting the haka. Now, okay, that sounds worse than it did. The face paint was just like drawn on. So it wasn't like they were in blackface.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I will say this.
Yeah, the knee-jerk reaction to that wording for sure.
I mean, they wore these headbands. That's where I feel like they went a little too far. Like, I don't mind because I have this mixed thing about music being appropriated. I was like, because I'm like, well, you know, music and even dance is somewhat supposed to transform between cultures, and it's a shared thing that you do. And I'm not just like food. I don't think you can. I think mostly you can't culturally appropriate food. Really, I mean, you can. There's some things that have definitely been. They were done in a wrong way about it and how they presented themselves, like the taco ladies in Portland. But I think when these people tried to dress like tribes people, sort of like by putting the headbands on and putting the war paint on, like if they had just done the dance and did the beat, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Like if they hadn't gone that extra step. I don't know. Samantha, have you?
The topic of appropriation is such a big topic. I really wouldn't feel comfortable passing judgment on that, to be honest.
To pass judgment? Why not?
Because, so...
I do that in 5 seconds. Are you kidding me? I have no problem passing judgment on somebody.
Maybe this is why we're a good combo.
What are you gonna think about it?
Well reasoned in your
mull it over. You know,
I'm gonna think about it for sure.
You don't have
because also too, weren't they saying the dance is also performed? Yes, it does traditionally come from, to say, Indigenous people of New Zealand, but then didn't it also say it's often what do they say? Don't they use it in sporting events too? I thought I read something about that. I'm not saying that that's right, that they're using it for sporting events, but I'm wondering, where did the nurses get the idea to do this from? Basically, what I'm talking about is intent. So it doesn't seem to me that their intent was to be
disrespectful of it.
It doesn't seem like that. However, I don't know them and I don't know their stories. I would be more of the mind to give them the benefit of the doubt on that one, because without knowing anything, and not to sound horribly offensive, I could have just seen that and thought about Moana, you know.
Yeah.
But again, that's where the whole topic of appropriation is such a big one, to where I want to know what the person's intent is. And like, because it kind of, I'm just going to tie that in now to another topic, which I don't know that we've covered this one specifically, but the whole white people with dreadlocks thing.
Yeah.
Oh, people might be so mad at me for saying this, because some people feel like white people should never wear dreadlocks. And I feel, who is the person wearing it? How do they treat black people? Like, what is their intent? You know, versus a blanket statement.
But it's really ugly. What about that part?
Oh, yes. It looks best on us. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's
Jim is offended by hair. Jim's offended by hair.
You know, right. There's that. Because, you know, I feel like there were also things that I've done, like growing up in Montana, were probably, I don't know, this isn't going to come across well, but like there was so much that I learned about Native American culture that like, I would think like, yeah, let me get a dream catcher. Let me have some, you know, and I don't think anybody would say I appropriated it. Who knows? Maybe they would, but it was totally coming from a place of respect. Yeah. And like love of it. And maybe I might have accidentally offended somebody just because that's not my specific culture.
I worked at a shop outside of on a reservation in Montana, Glacier Park. And we sold stuff like, you know, tomahawks and headdresses. And I was like, this was 98, I think. And I asked the owner there, I was like, don't the people get mad at this? And he said, no, they don't care. They want to make the money. It's the college kids. It's the natives that go off to college and learn about appropriation stuff and come back. And they're the ones who get mad, but they also have a hard time living on the reservation again after that, because the people there are just trying to get by, making their bucks and selling this stuff. They don't really care as much as the educated. And I was like, well, that's very similar to, like, you know, the Virginia hillbillies, right? Who when the one guy goes off and is like, oh, we can't do that anymore, Dad, that's racist. He's like, what are you talking about?
Wow, that was a spot on vocalization. Yeah, that accent was tremendous.
I studied. I do have a theater degree. I want to point out. Jim, do you feel like when the topic of something like cultural appropriation comes up that you just can't win? Like you just as a white fellow, do you get afraid to delve into those conversations?
As a middle-aged white male, I'm not allowed to comment on this.
Do you ever worry about that? About appropriating stuff? Or
you know, I'll tell you, what I worry about is I seem to be able to just offend people without even trying, just because I'm a white male. So,
welcome to our world.
Yeah. It's, you know, I agree with what Samantha, if I'm allowed to, I would like to agree
you
with
may always agree with me.
with Samantha in saying that I think that for me, intent would have a lot to do with it. And you can never really, tell for sure what somebody's intent is, but in my opinion, as a white male, I don't think that they were doing anything that they were trying to, you know, cause. I think it was really a celebration, and I think that they were trying to do something good. And I think that again, you know, I probably should just shut up.
No, I liked what you had to say.
I just think they should have been social distancing better. That's my.
that's the big thing.
You can't.
Oh, geez. But on the topic of intent, there was that other, the girl and her boyfriend or whatever that they got rejected from their college or something. Or no, they don't get to graduate. Did you hear about that?
TikTokers?
Yeah, the TikTokers.
Oh, they don't get to graduate. They were awful. Those people. Yeah,
there was no question about intent on that one.
Yeah, they're bad people.
Wait, what happened? What happened? I didn't.
Oh, you need. I mean, we're not going to catch you up to TikTok because you're not cool enough.
I know TikTok.
I saw it on I think Facebook.
What?
Is where
What
I
happened?
I'm the only one qualified to talk about this then.
Yeah, please go. Please actually be my, you know what? This is up your alley. We're talking about two white kids here right now, okay? So
That's right.
we're going to let them,
What did they do? What is this? What happened?
I mean, they were just so, I mean, you'd have to watch, you kind of have to watch the video. It was stupid. It wasn't even funny. If you're even trying to be funny racist, it wasn't even clever, funny, anything. They just, they went through all these stereotypes and it was a big cup. And so they're like, hey, I don't remember what it was, mass incarceration or something. This is how you get black people. And then you pour a big glass of that into the sink. And it was just
use the N word for it.
Okay.
It was horrible.
And so what happened to them?
They're not graduating now, right? I think they got kicked out.
I'm not sure what happened. I just know there was a big backlash. And I watched it and I was like, I mean, what were they even thinking? I mean, even racists wouldn't find that funny, I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't know.
Are they high school students or college or
either high school or college? I'm not sure.
Okay. I think, I don't remember.
Boy,
but,
regular
like,
Edward Murrow reporting here of this story.
Right.
There were some people that were white and the angry and it was stupid.
Oh gosh, I know. But here's the thing. Okay, so I did not watch it for because I heard of the story a few times and I thought, I don't need to be more upset right now. So let me not click on the actual video. Then I had all this time to imagine how horrible it had to have been to get that kind of reaction. So when I watched it, while it was horrible, it was not as bad as I had imagined because I had really gone to the deep end and let my imagination, right?
Well, that's what I want to see. I want to see what the one you did.
It was like, oh boy, oh no, you don't. Nobody ever wants to see that. I didn't want to see it. So, but I eventually, when I did watch it, like I was saying, it was because there was another post about the girl's reaction, pleading for people to know, like, it wasn't her fault. It was all her boyfriend's idea, and she's not a racist. Now, if you watch that video, which I don't recommend that you do, we pretty much covered it for you with our spot on reporting. There is no way. There is no way that she could just blame that on her boyfriend. Like, she wasn't just being a passive participant. Like, there was no way. No way. It was ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to check this out. I
know. Now you have to.
What a coincidence. It's about time up for the show. So I guess I'm going to go and watch this now and then watch 2 hours of television because I learned nothing today. I learned nothing. But hey,
I feel like we learned one thing, though, if I may be so bold.
Yes.
A new reporting style
That's right.
We've just unearthed now to get people to go online and fact check. Just enough. Oh, no, you'll never believe it. Oh, no, never believe it. You got to see it for yourself, but you may not want to. It'll be incredible.
I said, Samantha, I'm going to get snatched up by CNN, one of the other big networks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. My sort of, let's get more information before making a decision. That really goes well for breaking news.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you. Jim, thanks for coming on again. Thanks for returning to the show. We appreciate you. It's always wonderful to have you on here.
It was a pleasure.
You know what? I feel like you hypnotized me to say that, though. Like, I feel like that wasn't a conscious thing.
Absolutely possible.
Okay. Samantha, thanks again. Thanks for stopping in. All right.
Thank you.
Until next time, Black and a Half.
Live long and prosper and prosper and prosper and prosper.